Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great start to your new year. Today I thought it would be fun to do a get ready with me and just talk about New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions, all things like that. So I definitely have quite a few makeup, YouTube related goals to chat through with you guys today, but then I also just have some other goals throughout my personal life that I thought I could share throughout the course of this video. So if you guys are interested in chatting through some New Year's resolutions, then go grab your makeup and let's get ready together. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to mention before we get going that I've had a lot of issues with my camera settings, lightings, background, all things like that, and I feel like it's been getting worse. So I recently changed my background and I'm trying to get my lighting right so that it doesn't come across like fuzzy or blurry or grainy. I know a lot of people have commented in a couple of my previous videos that it felt like the background was in focus, but then my face was really fuzzy, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this video is different. There might be one or two other videos that I've filmed that might be, I don't know, might be good, might be not good in that aspect, but I am trying to figure it out, and if this one doesn't turn out, it's back to the drawing board and we'll just keep trying till we can get it right. But I just want you guys to know I am aware, I do hear you in the comments. I really appreciate your feedback because sometimes I go to edit and like I can't tell if like my computer screen's dirty or if it truly is the picture. So really appreciate all your comments on that, and I'm hoping to get that fixed very, very shortly. So I obviously have some eye patches on. I haven't gotten a ton of sleep lately, so trying to eliminate some eye bags here, but I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with my makeup today. I know I want to use a couple of the palettes that I currently have going in my 19 shadows in 2019. I'll leave that linked below if you guys are interested, but basically I'm going to be trying to pan 19 different eyeshadows from, not 19 different palettes, it ended up being like 15 because due to the way it worked, I ended up picking like 3 shades from one palette, 2 shades from another, etc, etc. But if you guys are interested in that project, I'll leave it linked below for you guys. But project panning and stuff, that leads kind of into my goals and stuff for this year. And also, one side note, this is my second get ready with me that I'm filming, and I feel like my head is usually like all over the place as far as like thoughts and what I want to say. So these end up being like super sporadic and longer videos. I am going to go in with my Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is a primer that is going in my year-long project pan right now. I don't think I'll have any kind of issue finishing this up just because I do really like this primer. It's very hydrating and moisturizing, and I feel like primers for me are not hard to use up just because I am pretty good about consistently using them every day, or at least every day I do makeup. Always got to get a little coffee going too. So I'm going to start with my eyes today just because I'm using at least one eyeshadow palette that I'm not sure like how the fallout's going to be on it. And then the other eyeshadow palette I'm going to use is the Born to Run palette by Urban Decay. I really do like this palette, and I am going to be trying to pan this Riff shade out of it, which is just a really nice warm brown tone, or warm brown shade. I think I'm going to go for a warm brown look today. I really enjoy this palette, but it didn't get enough love for me last year. I already know I have a vacation planned for this year that I plan to take this palette along with because it just is so perfect for travel. I get it's a little bit bulkier, but you get so many options with this palette that like you really don't need to travel with multiple palettes then. But first, for my transition, I'm going to go into my Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust palette by Tarte and use the shade Frolic just to toss into my crease as a transition. This palette is currently going in my Project Roulette pan collab, and I'm so close to hitting pan on this shade, so I've just been trying to always dip into this as my transition shade. So one of my #1 goals as far as like makeup is concerned this year is just to get more use and more love out of my collection. This is something that I started to try and do last year, but I would say my spending habits were still a little bit out of control last year, and I still bought a ton of makeup, and like I would buy things and then they would sit for like months before I would even end up using them, which is just really sad because you know, you're so excited to go pick up a new release and then you buy it and you don't use it. Like, that's not the point of makeup. Makeup is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to use it. And I feel like a huge trend that I've noticed this year too, so I'm glad like my goals kind of align with this, but a huge trend in and amongst YouTube is like no buys or low buys, or just getting more love out of your collection. So I am doing the 19 in 2019 project pan this year. I did the 18 in 2018 last year, and I was not very successful. I only ended up panning or like finishing off 4 products, but I was a lot more mindful and a lot more thoughtful about the products that I was picking out this year. So I am hoping, fingers crossed, that I will be a little bit more successful in my project pan this year. If you guys are interested in checking out any of those, I will try to leave those linked in the description box down below. But I will say that 19 and 2019 intro is one of the videos that I got a lot of comments that I look really blurry and stuff, so heads up on that. And then speaking of description boxes, that's one of my YouTube goals this year, is just to get better about linking things in my description box and being more mindful about my description box and like what I'm putting in it, spending more time on it, things like that. But that was like a little bit of a sidetrack. So back to project panning. So I'm doing the year-long project pan, and then I'm also doing a project roulette pan right now. It's a collab with a bunch of other ladies, started by Rebecca and Lexi. I just filmed my update for that, and that's been a really fun one as well. This is our 2nd round that we're doing it. I'm hoping that everyone wants to do a 3rd round, because it's always fun to sprinkle in some like smaller projects. I thought about doing like another rolling project pan, but sometimes it just gets to be a little bit much, especially when I'm trying to pan like the 19 other products in my collection. But I am also going to be filming a makeup inventory video hopefully today, so hopefully that'll go up this week. And I'm just going to be doing like a makeup rehab, like low buy type of year. It's really hard for me because I don't see myself ever truly doing a no buy. I obviously work full-time. YouTube is just a hobby for me, and makeup is a hobby and a love of mine, so I feel like to completely limit myself from buying any makeup like would just take the fun out of it in a way. However, I do think my spending habits when it comes to makeup is a little bit out of control, so I definitely want to reel it in that aspect. But then again, like, YouTube is a hobby, and I like to buy new products and stuff so that hopefully I can review them for you guys. I do want to get more creative and better about getting more reviews up for you guys on my channel this year, rather than just doing mostly like unboxing and project pan style videos. That's another YouTube goal. But I'm going to be filming a makeup inventory, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to be doing like a makeup rehab. I have some rules I've set for myself, a budget I've set for myself, and I'm going to be doing like monthly check-ins. And I think each monthly check-in, I'm going to tell you guys like what's really sparking my interest, what I really have been like tempted to buy, and then how I've either talked myself out of it, what products I think are similar in my collection, or if I really think that I am going to end up purchasing it. So kind of like a monthly will I buy it type of style recap. And then I think I may also do monthly anti-haul and just go through a bunch of the new releases that came out either the past month or that are set to come out, and just talk about like why I'm not buying them and maybe some reasons why I think you don't need to buy them. So I'm really excited. I think those 2 videos are going to be monthly series for me. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if those sound interesting to you, and if there's any other videos that you guys want to see or video ideas, leave them in the comments below, because I'm always wanting to hear like the videos that you guys want to see. Okay, I have the transition shade in and still no pan. It's so close. I don't know if you guys will be able to see. I'm hoping with the way that I just adjusted my lighting, you guys might actually be able to see swatches of highlights too. Yeah, that's a goal this year. Hopefully you guys can see my highlight swatches. I think I may end up buying a vlog camera at some point. I've planned a Vegas vacation where my husband and I are also going to rent a car and drive out to California for a few days, and for some reason I just like really want a vlogging camera for that. But I've also wanted a vlogging camera probably for the last like year and a half now, so I have been saving up to buy a vlogging camera. Now I don't know if I would do vlogs per se, just because I am still such a small channel, and honestly like I work 50 to 55 hours in my full-time job a week. I'm also a mom, a wife. I try and, you know, fit workouts in every now and again, so I don't know if I would end up vlogging, but I do want to get a vlogging camera this year. It's just a random goal. Okay, so next up, jumping into the Born to Run palette, I am going to take that Riff shade right here, and I'm going to also put this into the crease just to warm it up a little bit more. So then, oh yes, I love this shade. So I'm just, again, speaking about like getting more use and more love out of my collection, I just need to like stop buying just to buy. I think sometimes like when new releases come out, I get so excited about it. I just like buy it before I really think about whether or not I want it, whether or not it fits into my collection, whether or not I really can get use out of it. So I think being just like more mindful and more practical about my purchases this year. So I am going to be doing like a low buy. I'm just not going to be doing a no buy. And I'm really excited for it because I just think it will really help to change my mindset about makeup, my relationship with makeup, and how I make purchasing decisions, which I'm hoping will then translate to other realms of my life. Like I know me and my husband used to be really bad about like going to the grocery store like twice a month, and we would just buy like a plethora of groceries, and now it's like we'll go once or twice or 3 times a week and just buy what we need for the next couple of days. And that has helped so much as far as like saving money, food waste, things like that. So that's just kind of like a goal attached to makeup for me, is just like being more mindful about spending and being like less wasteful. I also just like feel like there's too much clutter in my life right now, and I want to sort of not have as much clutter. Like I used to just be so into things, and now I feel like clutter gives me anxiety. Like I don't need a million decorative things around my home. I just want pieces that like actually have meaning to me, actually add value to like the decor I'm going for, or like add value to my life. Things like that. I don't know if it's the way that I set my eyeshadow base, but I feel like I'm struggling to get a seamless blend here. Okay, I did a little more blending off camera so that you guys didn't have to be bored by that, but it was all with that Rift shade. Next, I'm going to go into Baja, which is this bright orange shade, and I'm just going in with my Sigma Tapered E40. And I'm just going to warm up the look even more. So I'll speak more about this in my actual like inventory / makeup rehab intro video, but I also want to be better about like bringing a ton of liquid and cream products in my collection before using up some. So like say I have 20 foundations, I want to make sure before I bring, you know, another foundation into my collection, like I want to finish one up, unless it's like a new foundation release that I'm getting like requests to do like a review or first impressions on, because I do want to start doing more like review first impressions videos, and I love testing new foundations. But I want to be better about like, you know, I don't need 8 L'Oreal Pro Glow foundations in my collection and to be bringing a 9th in. Like right now I have 2 of the L'Oreal Pro Mattes in the same shade, 2 of the Pro Glows in the same shade, and then another Pro Glow in my summer shade. Like that just is super excessive. I want to be better about like buying backups, because typically, with the exception of like my brow powder, I have something in my collection that I could substitute if I actually ran out of product for a day or 2 before I'm able to go rebuy that product. So like for example, if I ran out of my Pro Glow foundation, I probably have another 19 to 20 foundations in my collection that I could use that day before I go purchase another Pro Glow foundation. So it's just like little stupid things like that, like having a ton of backups. I just don't want that anymore, because again, there's just so much clutter. I don't have room for all of that. So that is going to be really important to me this year. If you guys did not catch, I just did a year-long Empties video too, and kind of like added up the value of everything that I used up. I had only started tracking it though through at the beginning in like April, so there were like 4 months that I didn't get. So I'm doing that again this year, which I'm really excited about. And my goal is to use up at least a minimum of 12, I almost said 12,000, which would be downright impossible. But to use up $1,200 worth of makeup, which shouldn't be that hard. I have a bunch of like half foundations, so if I really focused on like the foundations in my collection that like need to get used up this year, I really feel like this is a very feasible goal for me, and I'm really excited to see how much I can actually use up. For me, I use a ton of mascara, typically cheap mascaras, but like I'll have a ton of mascara empties. I'm hoping, what else am I hoping? Like concealers, I'm hoping I have like 4 or 5 concealers. Last year I think I only had like 2 or 3, which I'm better than that. Like I can use more concealer. I feel like I mentioned this in a couple other videos, but last year I didn't wear a ton of makeup during about 4 months of the year. So this year, not that I plan to like wear more makeup, but my work schedule I'm hoping is going to be more consistent, where I'm doing 6 a.m.s rather than 4 a.m.s, because when I do 4 a.m.s, like it's just not worth it to me to do or put on a bunch of makeup, especially because in my job I am running around all day, sweating, doing a lot of like heavy lifting, manual labor. So anyway, I always forget I should do my eyebrows first because I feel like I look so crazy no matter like how good or bad the eye look is looking, which it's usually looking bad. Another goal of mine is to improve my makeup technique this year, but we'll get into that in a minute. But I did a little bit more blending off camera, again just with that like bright orange shade, and now I'm going to go in with this really dark brown shade called Punk, and I'm just going to try and take that on the outer corner. Just doing like a typical warm brown smoky eye, but we're gonna add a shimmer to this today. Or I wonder if I want to try and do, like I could try and do a halo eye. Probably best not to do a halo eye when I'm not good at those during a get ready with me, so I don't totally embarrass myself. Okay, so I feel like I've covered most of like my project panning, using my collection, more minimalistic, but like not minimalistic, but like just more thoughtful purchases, etc. So I think I've covered all my like bases on that and everything I wanted to talk about. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys have comments or goals that you're working on this year that are either related or unrelated, I literally don't care. Definitely leave me a comment below so we can talk about what everyone else's New Year's resolutions and goals are. Another goal of mine is to really work on improving my makeup technique. I think one thing for me is I just struggle with personally like my eye shape, and then another thing is like I just like to speed through things so quickly. I have a 3-year-old who requires obviously a lot of attention because, let's be real, 3-year-olds are a lot of hard work. So sometimes like when I'm wanting to film and like I wake up early and I'm like trying to like rush through before she wakes up, which I usually don't get lucky enough to finish everything before she wakes up, but I'm usually rushing through like my makeup looks because I'm wanting to like get my filming in before she wakes up. So now that she's 3.5, like sometimes we'll play makeup together and she kind of knows like she has her makeup, I have mine. She's getting better about not getting into my makeup, so I want to definitely like watch some more YouTube videos, improve my technique, hopefully, you know, master the halo eye, start to do like more cut creases and things like that, get better at blending, learn more about like my eye shape and how to best do makeup for my eye shape, so that I can do more like try and style videos where I'm not as embarrassed about the way that I apply my makeup, because trust me you guys, I know I am no expert, but I actually love to watch YouTubers who like technically, I actually really enjoy watching like smaller channels where it's not like such a production and they're not like perfect at their makeup, because for me that's more relatable, and maybe that's not what you guys go to YouTube for, but for me personally I really enjoy watching, especially within the last like year and a half, like just smaller creators who are more down to earth, in my opinion, a little bit more relatable. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have my big channels that I watch and like go to for makeup tips and stuff like that, but I like it when I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally relate to the fact that like you're saying you struggled to blend your looks together or things like that. So that is one thing that I really, really want to focus on this year. Playing more with color, getting outside of my comfort zone, coming up with like my own creative looks rather than like if I'm looking to do a creative look, you know, going to basically just like look up a video and just basically copy what they do, because sometimes I struggle to figure out like what color combinations I could do to make it look fun. I mean, makeup is truly just like what you make it. So yeah, just trying to get a little bit more creative this year with and things like that. Like I said, from like a business aspect or from like a YouTube aspect, I want to launch an Instagram that isn't my personal Instagram, more like a beauty Instagram to tie to my YouTube channel as well as Twitter. I know I do have a Twitter account, but I use it. Me and my husband's hobby is like every Sunday we'll sit and watch football together and we just like tweet about games, get into like Twitter fights with people over like who's best quarterback or like, you know, our just stupid things, but like we love to tweet about sports. But I would love to you know, get more into like a couple other areas of social media just to like tie everything together. So Twitter and Instagram are the two that I would like to really go after this year alongside my YouTube. You guys will have to let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Do you prefer Twitter? Do you prefer Instagram? Do you not use either? Yeah, again, for me, for Twitter, like I've only ever used it for sports, so I'm not like, I don't know, I don't know a lot about Twitter. I never jumped on that bandwagon. I used to think like it was silly, but now that I like use it on Sundays, it's like so much fun, but I'm still an amateur. I'm gonna go back into that orange shade just to kind of blend this all together again. So with that being said, with like the Twitter and Instagram, and obviously having like a full-time work schedule and trying to like film, my goal is to film like 3 to 4 videos a week, or get 3 to 4 videos a week up. It just proves to be, you know, a lot of hard work, especially, you know, trying to also make time for my family. So another goal of mine this year is just to be like more structured and more organized. I know like it's been a long running joke at the place where I work that like every year I buy like 3 or 4 planners, but like literally I don't write one thing in one page. So this year I am trying to be more structured in that way. I got a bullet journal, which I'm really excited about, so I can do like habit tracking and things like that, because I really want to focus again on my fitness this year. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I got a bullet journal that I'm really excited about that I've already started using. I got just like a monthly calendar where I can put little post-it notes so I can plan out my month in videos. So I'm going to try and plan my videos out at least 3 weeks to a month in advance, so I can be like more on top of that schedule. And then I have another planner so I can like plan my entire life. So my goal is to be, you know, more structured and a better planner this year as well. Okay, I did my eyebrows off camera since that's not very interesting. And next we're going to jump into my Sephora Pro palette. I'm trying to pan 3 shades from this palette, and it's going to be tough because I never reach for this palette. It is the editorial palette. It's beautiful, but again, I don't play with colors too much, if ever. Again, one of my goals this year is to play around with color a little bit more. But I am trying to pan this shade right here, so I am going to pop this onto my lid just using my MAC 242 brush. And this is going on really nicely. I don't think I'm going to need to spray my brush, which is nice. So like I said, I'm going to try to be a lot more structured and organized this year. And a couple of the things that I have as like habits in my bullet journal are going to be drinking 8 glasses of water a day, which I've been really good at. If you guys, hold on, it's right here. If you guys have not heard of Hydro Flask, look them up. I have an obsession with water bottles. It's really bad. I was obsessed with the beaker water bottles for a long time. Those are like $50 to $55. Now these are like $40 to $50. I got mine on Amazon. I got the pink one and the white one. Literally obsessed. This honestly changed my life. It is so easy. You just pop the straw. It's so easy to drink water. I get this is a big bulky thing, but it almost reminds you to drink water. I take this with me to the gym. I take this with me to work. I literally take this with me everywhere I go. It keeps your water cold for like days. Usually I have lemon water in this one, and then my white one I just have regular water, because I have been trying to drink at least one thing of lemon water a day, for health reasons. I don't know the specific reasons that lemon water is healthy for you. I just know that it's supposed to be. I should look more into that. My goal also this year is to just do more research about things. Health and fitness is one of them, and then I also want to do more research and just learn more about ingredients in cosmetics. That's something that's always really interested me, and I just always love to be learning. On top of that, I love to be reading, so my goal is to read 12 self-improvement, self-development books this year. I think I read 6 or 8 last year. So if you guys are interested in recommendations, like a book recommendation video or a reading list video, let me know. I'm toying around with the idea of including more like lifestyle videos on my channel, but we'll see about that. I know one of the best books that I read last year, which like is one of the reasons I'm wanting to do like the Instagram and Twitter thing, is I read Crushing It by Gary Vee. He's super inspirational. I also, one of my goals and one of my things in my bullet journal is to listen to at least one podcast or one TED Talk a day. They're super inspirational, and they really just help you get motivated, especially if you have like super big goals and stuff, like if you want to be like an entrepreneur or own your own business and things like that. Like, I just love reading self-development books and listening to like podcasts that are similar in that aspect, as well as TED Talks. And TED Talks aren't always like about like personal development. There's like tons of very, very interesting topics for TED Talks, so I just want to make sure that I'm always improving my knowledge just of anything and everything, so I always want to be learning. I really like that shade, by the way. I think it's super pretty and it fits really well with this look. Now I'm going to go on to the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and finish off with the lower lash line and things like that. For foundation today, I'm going to go on with the Laura Geller Filter First Luminous Foundation. It has been a minute since I used this foundation. I was super excited when I first bought this, but then I just like wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be. I mean, I like the foundation, it just wasn't like my all-time new fave. Okay, so then for concealer, I'm going to go in with my Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I actually really, really like this concealer. I feel like, I don't know if you just don't get that much product in it, but normally it takes me forever to go through concealers, and I've been like flying through this one. So I kind of just want to finish this one off. I do have 2 concealers going in my 19 and 2019 Project Pan. For some reason, I feel like this foundation is like settling into my pores. Perhaps I should try it with a pore filling primer next, but it's supposed to be, gosh, that's like the issue sometimes with luminous foundations. They just like, they settle too much. I can't remember if I said this, but I do really like the Catrice concealer. I think it's really good. I just don't know that the shade range on it is good. I heard that they were coming out with more, but I think they only have like, it's either like 3, 4, or like 7 shades, so it's not that many. For bronzer today, going in with the tried and true Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. As you can tell, I have some good pan going on mine, so hoping to finish this off this year. And then I also have my Becca, I forget what it's called, the Becca Luminous Light. I don't think that's it. Anyway, I have the Becca bronzer going in my 19 and 2019 Project Pan, so hopefully I'll finish 2 bronzers off this year. Last year I was trying to finish off a Hoola Mini, which I didn't, but part of the reason is because I was like so focused on that the first half of the year, and then I just like completely stopped using it the second half of the year. but it did teach me a lot about how fast you go through bronzer, which is very slow. Another goal of mine is just to travel more. Like I said, I'm going to Vegas. I love Vegas, you guys, so really excited about that trip. My goal is to take at least one more trip where we fly, and then hopefully one trip as a family, like driving somewhere. I know within the next couple years I'd love to get out of the country. I've only actually been out of the country like one time in my life, and it was to go to the Dominican. I would love to go to Mykonos. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but Greece has like always been my number one place that I want to go to outside of the country. So really hoping to save some cash money up the next couple of years to go there, which is also part of the reason that I'm like, girl, you need to stop spending so much money on makeup so you can travel. And like the final goal for me is just to like spend more time, like obviously like with my family, but just like on myself, like self-care, self-love, trying to meditate every day. That's another habit that I have going in my habit tracker. I personally use the Headspace app. If you guys meditate or are wanting to meditate or struggle with meditation, I would highly recommend the Headspace app. It is basically a guided meditation, and it's helped me significantly. And also I would recommend reading the book 10% Happier, I believe by Dan Harris. I'll leave it linked below. It is a very insightful book just about like the benefits of meditation, and written by someone who like didn't believe in the power of meditation, but then like finally, sorry about the light, but then like finally started to meditate, and just basically changed his life. And like I said, it has changed mine too. I want to do more like focus on like doing more face masks more often throughout the week, and just taking like 30 minutes to myself to like write my gratitude journal every day and just write things that I'm thankful for and things like that. So just focusing on like the good things in life, what you have going for you, and like less on the negativity and things like that. For blush, I'm going to go in with my Jouer Adore palette. I have not given this one enough love. I'm just going to go in with the lighter shade today and tap that all over the cheeks. I also, this is like super random, but this kind of goes with like along with the fact that I want to get back into fitness. I was so into it at the beginning of last year. I would go like I would go to the gym at least 4 times a week. I was super focused on strength training and things like that, and I was like excited about it. And then the 4Ms at work kind of like killed that for me this year, towards the end of the year. But I really want to get back into that. Now I totally lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought on where I was going with that, but I do plan to get back into the gym 3 to 4 times a week. Oh, I remember where I was going. I have been doing intermittent fasting. One of my goals, again, is to like eat healthier and things like that. And I have started doing intermittent fasting, and it has worked so well for me. So if you guys want me to do any sort of fitness related videos or things like that, let me know. But I've been super impressed with my intermittent fasting results. I don't know, this blush is like not showing up. Maybe it's like really coming across on camera and I'm gonna edit and be like, you're an idiot. But okay, jumping back into the lower lash line, I'm gonna take this flat brush and go in with that dark punk shade and just press this probably about 3/4 of the way onto my lash line. I think I want to go into my waterline with like a copper shade that I currently have going in my project pan. Probably gonna do that. Yeah, so before I smoke this out, I'm gonna take my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil in Starfire. I currently have this going in my 19 and 2019. And that matches the look perfectly. I am obsessed with that. Love it. Okay, so then just on this Real Techniques brush, I'm going to go in with that Riff shade and smoke out the lower lash. Okay, I'm going to quickly pop on some mascara, then we will highlight, do a lip color, and call it a day. Alright guys, mascara is on for highlight today. I'm going to be going in with my Fenty Beauty Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. This one I currently have going in my 19 and 2019. So as you can tell, I'm trying to get some good use out of the products that I have selected. And if I am filming, usually I like to mix both colors if I'm going to work. Usually I just do the more subtle of the two sides. But I really do enjoy this highlighter. It's probably one of my faves in my collection. It's not like too blinding and intense, which is okay with me. I don't need like a super blinding highlight personally. I mean, every once in a while it's fun, I suppose, to get like a super blinding highlight, or it's fun to have a super blinding highlight, but just not my style. Oh, the 3-year-old's up. And then I'm also just going to pop some of this into the inner corner since I didn't go in with an inner corner highlight. One thing I will say I noticed when I was popping mascara on is I already feel like a lot of that shade that I took out of the Sephora Pro palette has like just isn't as intense. So I probably would go in either with like a concealer or a glitter glue or a wet brush next time to hopefully like have the intensity on that last a little bit longer. And then for my lip combo today, I'm again using products in my project pan. First, I'm using my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, what do they call this? I don't know, the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea lipsticks. This is in the shade Rum Punch. Not only do I really like this lip color, like this is probably one of my favorite lip colors in my collection, I also really enjoy the formula of this. I think it's great. It's super hydrating on the lips, really creamy, but I feel like it lasts still a decent amount of time. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit of my Bite Beauty French Press lip gloss in flat white onto this, just in the center. This is a super nude lip gloss, and honestly, because the lipstick is...
I want lip gloss like that.
Okay. And honestly, because the lipstick is so hydrating, I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm going to see if I can give myself just a hint of an ombre effect. I don't know if that's working. But I also have this lip gloss in my Roulette Pan collab. Whatever, if that works. I think I'm thinking about doing a full face of products in my project pan, so if you guys are interested in that video, let me know. Other than that, that is going to conclude this Get Ready With Me. I hope that you guys had fun listening to my New Year's resolutions. Like I said, leave me a comment below letting me know what you're going to be focused on this year. Also leave me a comment letting me know, gosh, I can't speak. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see from me in the next coming months. Again, I'm trying to plan my videos out 3 weeks to a month in advance, but I can definitely like switch things around. I just need video edit. I would just love some video ideas. I want to know what you guys want to see. I want to film what you guys want to see, so let me know. I hope you guys are having a great day, and again, I hope you're having a good start to your new year. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so before you go. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers, which is so exciting. I know I've been buying stuff for a 5K giveaway, so hoping to maybe reach 5K by the end of January, fingers crossed. Thank you guys for the continued love and support. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you guys in my next video. Bye.